Hey, it's Kara Curry, middays on 99.9 The Hawk. As everyone knows, AC/DC announced this week that the original members have reunited. They have a brand new album coming out, a brand new single, and they might even be touring. We had the ultimate pleasure of speaking with Brian Johnson and Cliff Williams recently. Brian, Cliff, thank you both for joining us on the phone because COVID won't let us hang out together. How does it feel to have a new album coming out and the band back together?
It's brilliant. It's something, probably nobody thought would happen. But, it was about 2018, and Angus was contacted by the record company, said, do you fancy doing an album? And Angus said, well, let's ask the boys, So, he asked me and Cliff and Phil, and Stevie was there, obviously, and I think we all said yes immediately. We just said, oh, this would be great. And, of course, we went off to Vancouver in about August just to see what would, I didn't know what anybody thought would happen, but as soon as we walked in, there was this just electricity, this lovely vibe, this bond that had been built up over 38 years or something then, since I joined. And of course, when the boys plugged in or powered up, if you'll excuse the pun, and they started playing there, that was it. This, we were just all made up. It was a great time, for us.
And for us rock fans, as soon as we saw the news, we got all excited. Cliff, how did you feel about getting back in and working on the new record?
Oh, I was really excited to do it. The last Rock or Bust was due to be my last fling, and that was a tough tour to finish. But when I heard that Brian and Phil were back, I was super excited to join in.
AC/DC's Power Up will be out November 13th, and I think everyone has heard a little teaser from the album. So good. What can you tell us about this new album?
Well, it's, the basic thing is there's a lot about some of Malcolm's guitar playing on. Well, of course, that's not true. But what is true is the fact that Angus and Malcolm had done riffs together all their life. And they literally had a big box of them, and Angus said he basically just went through them all, and he went, oh, that's a good one, this is a good one, and he brought them out. So it really is true that Malcolm's on there, basically in spirit and all of that, and he's so strong. Such a strong character as he, in life, and I think everybody in the band still felt him. Everybody, especially Angus. His brother. He's in everything. And I think we're always conscious of that he's watching over. We're going. You better do it right. You better do it AC/DC style, or just not do it at all. And the songs Angus came in with them and all of that, and worked with Brendan O'Brien, the producer, and he took me, for my part, the vocal part. I went into just a regular little control room, and we just went for it, and he'd take it back, and Angus would have a listen and see if there was anything needed changing, but. Basically, the songs were just almost set up forward. There was just changes here and there. That's obvious. That's going to happen, but there wasn't much. I don't know about you, Cliff, but
yeah,
I think.
Well, we'd sit and routine them in the playroom and figure it out. Brendan was really, Brendan's an awesome producer and a great musician in his own right, and
a card shop. Don't forget that.
And that's right, and a card shop who changes the rules on you every
you take
time
all our money off.
So, it came together really well, really well. Also, Brendan's a great motivator. He keeps it going. And the end result is, this is, as soon as you hear it, this is an AC/DC record.
Are there settings and sounds that you guys have been using since the beginning that you punch up to make it sound like AC/DC? Or do you experiment with modern tones and modern sound?
Pretty much, yeah. we've all got a certain sound that we know and love and go for, and it works together. So we're always with that goal in mind when we enter a studio.
November 13th, AC/DC's Power Up will be out. And the other thing I wanted to ask, is there a tour that you guys are thinking about? I mean, how badly are you itching to play live and get out and tour?
Well, we talked about playing some shows when we got together to shoot a video and do some rehearsals. It was with an idea of playing some shows. Unfortunately, we all went home after that rehearsal and conversations. And then this damn virus hit, it was never taken any further. So we've, like everybody, everything's on the shelf. But we would love to get out and play live. 2020
has been a strange year for all of us, Cliff. What have you been doing to pass the time while most things have been shut down? And Brian, you as well. What have you been doing with the time on your hands?
It's as frustrating as hell. It's. What can I say that's even interesting? The same as everybody else, just trying to make life bearable, just doing things. It's getting a bit better now, but in the early days when it was complete lockdown and stuff like that, it was just, you had to make your own fun in the house and, you call people a lot. I think, Zoom people but it stopped everybody in their tracks, especially us. We were so excited to get together in Holland, where we rehearsed for about 3 weeks. And it was just, we were so happy with what was coming out, and just like Cliff said, we just flew back and thinking it was somebody else's virus. It's ours. It's not going to happen to us. But boy, oh boy, that was wrong. It spread pretty quick, So
yeah, we were the conversation. It was starting when we were just about to leave Amsterdam. We were getting the news about it, and it was like, well, it's flu, and then bang.
Do either of you know anyone who's been affected personally? Family members, friends?
It's funny you should say that. In about an hour, I'm going to get tested again. I just, it's something, you got to keep on top of this stuff, and but thankfully none of my family has been affected by it yet.
To say I've had a couple of friends that have had it right about my age and went through it. Both are okay. So
good to hear you guys are healthy. Like I said, we are excited for November 13th. AC/DC's album Power Up will be out. First single, Shot in the Dark, comes out today. And we just passed an anniversary a few weeks ago. Back in Black celebrated its 40th anniversary. That album is the 4th biggest selling album of all time. 25 million sold. It sold more than the Beatles' White Album. Did it feel like something special when you guys were recording it back in the day?
Yeah. It was Brian's first work with us, and it just felt magic. It was really good.
It's still. I listen to it today. And it still sounds fresh. The songs. And they do. When I listen to Back in Black, it sounds like some young kids come out with something that he wants to say, and he wants to say it loud and proud. And it was a heck of an album that none of us, I guess, nobody goes in to do a bad album, and nobody goes in to do one of the best-selling albums ever. You just never think it's. You never think it's possible, but it's just been fantastic for us, and for the kids, the young fans, some of them like 12, 13, and they know every lick on that flipping album, all the words, it's quite amazing, and it's, you've got to keep pinching yourself and saying, that's me on there. It's not easy to explain.
Yeah, just an incredible thing. One of the biggest selling albums of all time. Last question. What's the best part of being a member of AC/DC, and what's the toughest part? Brian, you first.
Oh, I guess have a bond with 4 of the best, musicians, what they do that I've heard, I think that's got to play a big part, and you feel quite proud that you're playing with them and you're part of them and accept you as part of them. So for me, that's, and the fact that the fans just stick by you through thick and thin, it's very important to any band to have a bedrock like that. And AC/DC are just, it's cast iron, with the fans. They're just the best.
And is there a tough part about being an AC/DC?
Well, there never used to be. It's just since they got iPhones, cell phones, and social media, which I'm not on, and I don't even have a cell phone, an iPhone. The privacy bit, because we're always quiet. AC/DC always, lived under the radar, as it were. All the boys, when I joined them, they lived, well away from the hoopla and the special parties for opening up things or whatever it is. The boys always kept well below the radar, and it was, it was happy. It was fun in them days, carefree.
Cliff, what about you? And then I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, the best part is playing with these guys for over 40 years. And I mean, the original, Angus, Brian, Phil, God bless Mel, but Stevie now, is playing the music together, particularly live. The live thing is the best. The worst for me is the travel at the end of a 2-year tour.
Hopefully we'll get to see that tour at some point in the near future, but I have to tell you, all of us rock fans are really, really excited. The new AC/DC album, Power Up, comes out November 13th, and the first single, Shot in the Dark, comes out today. Brian and Cliff, it was so great to talk to you.
Thanks, and it was lovely speaking with you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye now. See you in a bit, Cliff.